Hello everyone, I'm Reiki Master Sharon, and today I just wanted to do a reading for the new moon, and also today is 1/11, and with our year being 2024, those numbers actually add up to be 11 as well. So 11 is a master number, and I do feel like this transit is going to bring end of some cycles for us and usher us into a new beginning. So what we're starting out here with is the Magi, signs and divine timing, and the death card. So what this speaks to me is that, well, first I'm going to tell you guys a little story about the Magi. I heard of us telling of the Magi where they saw a star that entered the sky. Back in the day, the astrologers of the time would look to the sky, and we have fixed stars, and I forgot what they're called, but basically non-fixed stars. So that would be, anything like meteors. They thought to be prophetic in nature. So when Jesus was conceived, there was this star that entered the sky that they believe probably wasn't there before. Maybe it was a meteor, maybe it was another transit of two stars coming together, or two planets, because back then they didn't have a distinction between stars and planets. But the story goes that, at the conception of Jesus, they started to follow the star to Bethlehem. And it was a 2-year journey from conception to actually go and for the, wise men or three kings to actually give their offerings to Jesus. And they also believe that it may have actually been more than 3 kings. It could have been 12 kings and their armies. So this card is really speaking to a sense of being able to see what is normal, as in those fixed signs that are in the sky, with our planets and our stars being fixed in the sky. Is pretty much the only thing that doesn't change is the cosmic realm of things, unless we have like a star that burns out. But it doesn't happen that often. We've had all of our planets for millions of years. So when we're able to establish between ordinary and extraordinary, then we're able to actually see things as they are. So when you think of it in the terms of Jesus being born, it really was the dawning of a new era, Pisces, and entering the age of Pisces, I believe, at that time. Now we're pretty much like in the age of Aquarius, I believe. I'm not an astrologer, so I don't really know for sure. But they knew that they didn't know what they were going towards. They didn't know exactly who was being born. They just knew that if this extraordinary thing was being presented to them, that it was something of great significance. So they followed their intuition, and they followed the star to find the Savior, to find Jesus. But there's also a couple of different stories about that too. There's a story where the wise men actually stopped and talked to Herod before going to find Jesus, and Herod was like, oh, well, if you find him, let me know so I can pay my respects too. But then, there was like the slaughter of all the babies because he didn't want anyone to take his crown, basically. But, in the story, the wise men never actually go back to report to Herod. They go back home because they're like, yeah, no, I'm good. So, not everybody who asks you to do something has your best intentions at heart. So maybe during this time you should keep that in mind and really rely on your own inner knowing and intuition, because we're coming into a period of death and rebirth. We're releasing an old pattern and basically going through a metamorphosis to transform into something beautiful. If you've been struggling and you've been in a lot of pain and agony and confusion, I feel that is transitioning into something very beautiful. So, today I'd actually like to do a reading for the Divine Feminine Collective and the Divine Masculine Collective separately, but I do suggest that you watch both of them because we do have a balance of both energies within us. But I think it's good for us to be able to kind of see things a little bit more clearly that way. So this one's just going to be kind of like an overall collective reading where we're pulling on the new moon and kind of seeing what kind of guidance we have coming in through for us. So, okay, Spirit, Creator, Archangel Michael, Metatron, please let us know what we need to know through this transit. What guidance do you have for us today? Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So, okay, we have more confirmation that, we have divine timing here at play. Is there anything else that we need to know about this wait? Feel a call for us to have patience. And I think it's always also showing that, we have these angels with us that are guiding us through this transit. I think this is a very important transit for a lot of us as we're ascending. Life is a journey to learn and to grow, and we're always growing, and if you're not growing, then that's not a good thing. And sometimes, we have times where we stay the same, but we should always be striving for growth. As soon as you think you know it all, then you realize how much you didn't know. Okay. I'm not going to take... Oh, maybe I will. Empty well. Time to replenish. So I do feel like someone here is probably feeling like they may have been pouring their energy into something that wasn't reciprocating. And it's like that saying you can't pour from an empty cup. Well, when you pour your cup into other people's cups that don't reciprocate, you need to take some time for yourself to replenish yourself and to protect your own energy, and maybe even possibly consider if you're willing to pour into that person's cup again, or at least hold a boundary with them. So we have here straddling worlds, wandering between realms. So this is speaking to that in-between time when things are transitioning. It's kind of like being in the cocoon as a butterfly, right? Like before you were a caterpillar and you crawled, and that's how you knew life. You knew life by crawling and getting where you're supposed to go. But when you're in this metamorphosis, you're kind of in this cocoon that is protected so that you can grow your wings and learn once you have your wings, then you can fly, right? So you're in this in-between time of crawling and flying, so to speak. But once you come out of that cocoon, I want you to remember that you can fly. I mean, what would you do if you seen a butterfly that was just like crawling everywhere and didn't realize that they had wings, right? You'd be like, what? Is it okay? Is there something wrong with it? Like, I don't know how to care to a butterfly. Can I even take it to a veterinarian? Like, what do you do for it, right? So remember that when you get your wings, you can fly. Winter's dream, gestation period. So yes, I think this is speaking more to that kind of hibernation aspect. We do our best healing in our sleep. Maybe you need more rest to replenish and to heal and to grow these wings. So here we have Garden of Venus, rest and renewal. Yes, rest. Caterpillar, opportunity. So I do feel like there's an opportunity arising after you allow yourself this time to rest and renew. Some of you, this may be past tense. You may have gone through a time of, pulling your energy back to yourself and doing that rest and renewal, and maybe it's time for you to move forward and realize that you have those wings that you can fly. Or this could be current influence to where Spirit is saying you still need your gestation period. You still need your time of rest to replenish so that you can be fruitful. Because there's a big opportunity that's coming. What do we have here? Root girl, the disowned self. So I just want you guys to really look within yourself and listen to your inner child, to the things that you may have been shushed as a kid for, like those feelings that were never heard. I want you to take time to listen to what those are. So I'm going to give you an example from my own life to kind of give you an idea of what I mean by this. So the other day I had a ovarian cyst that burst. So I had a lot of people asking me, like, are you okay? I'm sure that's very painful. Is there anything that I can do to help? And, a part of me was almost resentful that people were asking me if I was okay now, because I feel like there have been so many times where I've had really bad pain, really bad periods, and really bad cramps, and been in a lot of pain and never had that same sympathy. I was like, well, I never had sympathy when these other things happened in the same region. Why should you care now? But at a point I had to go, you know what? Just because people didn't give me sympathy when I was in pain doesn't mean that I didn't need it, or that it wasn't something that I was truly feeling. And you have to allow yourself to feel these things and be like, you know what? Yeah, I am in pain. Yeah, it does hurt. But when you're able to acknowledge that pain, then something very beautiful happens within you. Then your body begins to heal your spirit. You start to heal the root cause of the issue. And when you have strong roots as a plant, you can grow